So welcome to shoulder yoga. So we're going to do lots of movements today to initiate some kind of release of holding in the shoulders, so allowing the shoulder joints to find their fullest range of movement. So everybody's going to find that a different experience. So if you have any issues with your shoulders, if you've perhaps even recently had shoulder surgery, then be very, very gentle. And if you've been advised not to do particular movements, then avoid those movements today. Brilliant. So you might need, well, you will need actually a long belt or a long strap. So this is going to be fine. You can use a dressing gown cord or something similar. Also, if you've got them to hand, a couple of sort of shapes. So these are yoga bricks, of course, but you can usually find something like a book that is a similar dimension. We'll be using those just for a couple of releases, maybe one actually, but possibly two releases as we move through our time together. Brilliant. So, without further ado, as they say, come down onto your mat. Whatever you're sitting on, you may be on a blanket on your floor, that's fine. So before we kind of just think about moving and opening through the shoulders, the shoulder girdle, the shoulders themselves, let's just spend a few moments with the breath. So settle into your seated position, make sure you're comfortable and begin to come inwards really as you focus on you, which might be something you very rarely have time for. So really savour this time you're giving yourself. Just notice how your breath moves, where it moves to. So just a couple of words to think about. Feel what you feel and notice what you notice. And even if those words aren't shared with you onwards from me, have them with you so that whenever you're in a shape or a pose, you can think, feel what you feel, notice what you notice. And there's no right or wrong answer to those. It's an observational, just being aware of how things are in that exact moment. So let's just now draw our attention to the shoulders. And usually as soon as you do that, you can relax them a little bit more. So if you're not sure, just touch your left shoulder with your right fingers and just sigh that shoulder down. And then same on the other side, left fingers to right shoulder, sigh the shoulder down. Well done. So shoulder rolls. So keeping the spine beautifully long, the point just behind the crown of the head lightly lengthening up. So when we have our spine long, there's no stiffness, it's not like a lump of concrete. It's a fluid thing, but it's providing support. So all of the vertebrae stacked one on top of the other in a beautiful line. As we bring the shoulders forwards, up, back and down, keeping the neck beautifully long as we move the shoulders only. And maybe your hands are sliding on your legs a little bit as you bring your shoulders forwards, up, back and down. So I mentioned to some of you before about the cheat. And the cheat here is as you roll your shoulders up, you scrunch your neck down to bring your ears down to your shoulders. Don't worry about how high your shoulders go, just aim them up towards the ears. Good, let's change the direction. So take the shoulders back, up, forwards and down. No rush, just feel into the movement. So if you've worked with the kind of neck and shoulder session we've shared together, this is just a little bit of an add-on to that. Well done. Now just sit quietly again and assess, just to yourself, what your shoulders feel like. Are they level? Does one shoulder feel higher than the other? Are you more aware now that your shoulders have released a little bit lower down away from the ears? Notice the length in the sides of the neck. So in order to release the shoulders, we'll also release the side of the neck which is a really nice thing to do anyway. So we're going to take the left arm out and up, kind of wrap it around the head, left hand to the outside of the right ear, and gently take your head over. So you're using the weight of your hand and the arm to just assist with the normal movement your head would make. So there's no pulling, just adding the weight with the arm and hand. Now some of you might find that there's not much going on in the neck, so changing the sort of angle of the gaze, so look down and then start to turn your head down, and maybe turn your head a little bit to the right, maybe up a little bit till you find that sticky spot, and then breathe in that place. Well done. Now to bring the head up, we're going to use the left hand on the left side of the face. So bring your hand to sort of the cheek and the temple and actively push the weight of your head back up. Just for a moment, close your eyes and observe the difference between the right side of your neck, the left side of your neck, and possibly your right shoulder now and your left shoulder. Everything is connected. There's no avoiding it. Although your toes are in your feet, what you do with your shoulders could have an impact on your feet, and perhaps how you walk, or if you have a sort of sore foot and you change your gait, can have an impact on your shoulders. Good, so same thing but on the other side. So leaning the right ear over towards the right shoulder, scoop the right arm around the head, like you're really cradling it and supporting it. Then almost controlled sigh over. Just settle into it first. Make sure you're relaxing your jaw and your tongue, and then do what you'd like to do. So slow, considered movements. Maybe looking down, maybe forwards, maybe just changing the angle of the head slightly till you find it, and you'll know when you found it. Because for many people it's quite a strong sensation. Just continue to breathe and ease. And always giving yourself permission to let go wherever you are. And once again, release the hand that's around the head, pop it against the side of the face and push your head up. So really feel the weight of your head in your hands and then push the weight of your head back up. Good, let's see how the shoulders feel now. Up, back and down. Okay. So taking the arms out in line with the shoulders, I'm going to try and stop saying all right and okay, because I do that a lot. So I will try and find alternatives for those words, but forgive me if I don't. I was going to say okay. Right, let's get ready. So we're going to do something called screwing the light bulb. So the left palm is going to come forwards and up and back as much as it can, and the right palm is going to go down, back and up. So it's like a spiraling action through the arms. Imagine you are unscrewing light bulbs and screwing a light bulb in one hand and the other. So rotating right up into that shoulder joint, using those muscles there that can get quite easily damaged, and they're not very good at repairing themselves. It can take a long time to recover from a shoulder injury, and if you've had one, you'll know that that is true. Well done. A couple more to each side. Good, and then come back to the centre. Just allow your palms to face the floor. And in really slow motion, as much as you'd like to probably hurry the movement, move through all those different sensations as you return your hands to your knees or your thighs. Let's have the palms up just to relax and take a moment with the breath. Good, well done. So we're going to grab a strap. We're going to have a go at a cow's head. So I'll just spin round and remind you what that is. One arm up, one arm down, and if possible, your fingers clasp behind you. Now I'll use the strap again, so excuse my back. Perhaps double it over depending on your mobility through your shoulders, or you can fold it over again. And the arm that goes up, as you curl it in, the strap will hang down your back. And you sweep around with the other hand and grab the strap, and just try then and walk your hands a little closer to each other. And even if you don't normally use a strap, it's quite nice to do that. So let's go. Good, we'll take the strap in the left hand. Let's all use a strap to begin with, and then you can just drop it if you don't need it. Left arm up, whoops, I'll redouble that. Left arm up, right arm down, and curl. Bend your elbows and curl your hands in towards each other. So you're going to grab the strap and walk your hands as close as you can. Notice how it feels. See if you can get your hands a little closer. Try not to drop this top shoulder, drop elbow. So wherever it is, so it might sort of be here, try and keep it in the position it starts in. You may find it'll go a little higher or a bit more upright. Good. Take a breath in, exhale navel to spine and start to bow forwards. And you may notice an increase of sensation on the front of that bottom arm, so your right arm here. Keep the elbows pressing up. Try not to tip up off your sitting bones, and so keep grounded to your mat. One more breath to bring you up, breathe in. Breathe out when you're up, and then take your time. Okay, so release your top arm first, and then unfold your back arm. Well done. So maybe just shake the arms off, interlink your hands, palms forwards, backs of the hands forwards, palms up, backs of the hands up, interlink your hands behind you, backs of the hands away, turn your hands, palms away, relax, and let's take the strap in the other hand. So hopefully most of you that will be your right hand. Just to remind you, if you can comfortably bring your hands together, you can let the strap drop to the floor behind you. Okay, so arms out, good. Right arm up, left arm down, bend your elbows, and just start to feel around for that strap. So everybody should find, I'd say everybody, most people should be able to grab the strap in some way, shape or form. If that isn't doable for you at all, then just pop the back of your hand on the back of your body. So your top arm, top hand, the palm will be on you, and the underneath hand, the back of the hand will be touching your body. Now everybody will have one side that's a little bit less cooperative than the other. Well done. See if you can get your hands a little closer. Don't forget, both hands are going to walk. The underneath hand might be reluctant to shift. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly come forwards, observing anything you're aware of. So feeling what you feel, noticing what you notice. Elbows are pressing up so they're not sagging or melting down. Then when you're ready, breathe in to come up. Stay up as you breathe out. So if you've got hold of your strap with your underneath hand, just release your strap so you can stretch out the top arm. And then take your time to undo the arm that's behind your back. Good, let's have a little shoulder roll again. Up, back, and down. Brilliant. So let's put the strap to one side for a moment. I'd like to do just a little movement on sort of sitting on the heels. This is where you might need your 2 bricks, and then we'll come back to sitting and we'll work with the strap again. Good. So you can do this without your bricks, it's fine, just elevating the hands makes it a little stronger. So we'll start without the bricks. So you'll sit on your heels, a bit like child's pose, extended child's pose, which is exactly what it is actually. You'll come forwards and slide your hands forwards, palms are going to be down. We'll take a few breaths in this position. Then we'll look up and then we'll take the hands either side of the mat. Noticing any difference just by simply taking the arms a little wider. And then we'll do that funky little mat grab. So grab the sides of your mat with your hands and pull it apart as if you're trying to split your mat in two. So pull. Remember to keep breathing. Keep pulling. And then relax. So coming back to that central position again, this time coming up onto the fingertips, allowing the head to bow down. Notice the position of the head can have quite an impact on the sensation through the upper back and shoulders. So feel free to gently and slowly perhaps lower your head, maybe lift the head up a little bit, noticing how the awareness of the sensation moves in the body. Then relax the palms down, take the hands either side of the mat again, come up onto the fingertips. Well done. Relax the hands. Coming back to the centre. Final one without bricks, if you're going to progress, is turning your palms to face up. So roll onto the outside of the little finger and all the way over as much as you can onto the back of the hands, thumbs pointing towards the long edges of your mat, elbows off the floor here. So aiming to have the elbows off the floor. If you find it a challenge to do that, just roll up a blanket under your forearms so your forearms are propped and supported, rather than just letting your elbows come down onto the floor. You can even roll your mat up. Okay, so you can always do that, roll your mat up. And then just let your forearms rest on your rolled up mat. Good. So you might feel this a little lower down, perhaps across your shoulder blades. Good. And then turning your hands over, coming up, grab your bricks if you're going to use them. We're just going to do the one movement on the bricks. So either go back to fingertips, arms directly in line with each other, or bringing your hands onto the bricks, settling. And you can always come up onto the fingertips on the bricks. Okay, so you should be aware of the difference. Maybe it's just a subtle difference, particularly if you're quite mobile in your shoulders, but if you're tight, it'll be something you're aware of quite quickly. Well done. Relax the palms of your hands. Gently bring your hands to the floor. Just forearms down, just to allow the shoulders to kind of almost sigh. Good. Now what we're going to do here is come onto our tummies. And we'll be lying on our tummies with our arms crossed over the body, palms pressing into the floor. So come down onto your belly. Good. Prop yourself up on one forearm, slide that other arm through, and then the arm you're propping yourself up on, slide it across. Well done. So you're going to actively push down through the palms of your hands here. So when you're ready, take a breath in, and then breathe out. Breathe in, lightly holding your breath as you press the floor. Press, press. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So that should feel good. If you're pressing quite firmly, your elbows will probably come off the floor. Alright, good. And again, say alright, so I'm saying it again. You feel free to count how many times I say alright and okay, and let me know. And I'll try and reduce the number next time. Perfect. So pressing the palms again. Take a breath in. Press and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Good. The front arm, bring it back slowly so you're on your forearm again. Slide the other arm through. And for a second, just melt into Sphinx pose. So shoulders can just slide. You don't have to be propped up here. But you're doing what feels right for you. So many people like to kind of slump, many people like to stay lifted. Tailbone lengthening towards the back of the mat. Okay, so other side. So propping yourself up on your other forearm. Take the hand a little bit further forward. You can lift it up if that helps. Slide the other arm through. So that's the arm that was in front a moment ago. And then that arm goes out to the side. So now you've got the opposite arm in front. Well done. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Good, breathing in, softly holding as you actively press for 5, press 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, let's go again. I heard that. Okay. Let's go again. Breathe in. And press as you hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. So that's quite a lot of work. So do take your time to come away. Oh, brilliant. So we're going to press up and back to child's pose. And just let the arms drape back alongside the legs. Melt your shoulders. Great stuff. So we're going to go back to sitting on the floor. We're going to use the strap for a few things and just a slightly different grip. What I'd like you to avoid doing is gripping it with your fist. I'd like you to open your thumb, lobster claw I call this, and just drape your strap in that little nook there and then pinch your thumb against the rest of your hand. That's the grip we're going to use, all right? Oh, so close. And other side. So you want it wide enough because what we're going to do is take it up, one arm back, then the other arm back. Same arm that went back first comes up, and then the other arm follows. The whole time you're doing that, you're keeping tension on the strap or the belt. That's the important bit. There's no kind of just soften and then just bending. We're going to keep tension on the belt the whole time. Be careful if you've got a buckle, so keep it away from your face. So let's find the strap. Oh, got that sew in there then as well. Let's find the strap. So it'll be wider than shoulder width, definitely. Pinch it with the thumb between the hands. And let's take the left arm back. And without bending your right elbow, maybe your right hand has to slide a bit. Right arm back, down, keep tension on the belt the whole time. Then left arm up. Right arm follows, keep tension on the strap or belt. Good. Right arm back, left arm back, keep tension. Good. Right arm up, left arm up. And relax just for a moment. This time we're going to hold a narrower position with the hands, and I'd like you to use a much stronger grip. So really going for the idea that you're trying to rip your strap in two. We're ready to go. So let's take the arms up. Arms in line with the shoulders this time. Again, be careful of your buckle if you've got a yoga strap. Grab your strap and pull as much as you can. So you're really creating effort here in the shoulders. A little bit of abdominal support. Try not to bend your elbows. Pull. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. few seconds. Then relax. Well done. Just take a moment to let the shoulders kind of get back to feeling like they're your shoulders again. So going back to the strap being held slightly wider, we're going to take both arms back at the same time and then both arms up, forward and down. It is a little bit more of a challenge, trying to avoid bending the arms so your arms are straight the whole time, so you have to accommodate that by altering the distance that your hands are away from each other. Good, so in a nice wide V to begin with, and then bring your hands forward. You've got that lobster pinch grip again, so you've gone away from that fist. Okay, here we go. Let's take them up. Whoops. I have to alter there and back. Usually coming back up is a bit more of a challenge. Good. Try and take your grip a little narrower. Good. Take it up and back. Let's change the grip. I think we need to change the grip. Take it up, forward and down. So using the same grip we had a moment ago when we were trying to pull the strap apart. Take the arms up and back. Keep pulling the strap apart as you do that. So try not to just melt here. So keep the tension in your strap. Up, forwards and down. Couple more. Keep the tension on the strap the whole time. Tension here. And here. Good. Tension, tension, tension. One more. Up and back. Up, forwards and down. Good. Just relax. Let your strap come to the floor for a moment. Hands rest on the thighs. Let's have palms down. And let's take those shoulders up, back and down, just to see if it feels softer. Feel what you feel, notice what you notice. Well done. So let's come up to standing. We're going to repeat that same movement from an upright position. Or actually, let's do a little movement from the floor first. So we've got this kind of circular movement here from the floor, circling around and down. So you're pinning the strap to the floor with the right hand, so wrap it around your hand, your thumb, and then pop it down on your mat. And then stretch your strap diagonally forwards. Lean into your supporting hand. The strap stays tight and taut, so take it forwards, up around the head, and back behind you as much as you can. Over, around, forwards, and back to that diagonal position. So you're sort of thinking of circling, but without the elbow bending. Just do one more on this side. That's it. You may notice quite quickly actually that any tension you have when you start, it can kind of go quite quickly because we've already done quite a bit in there. So other side, just watch the buckle. So have the buckle on the mat if you're using a yoga strap. Fix it to the floor. Don't be afraid to adjust your grip. So you may find that you need to make it narrower rather than too long. Okay, so you've got diagonal movement here. Good, we take it to the side and back and forwards, down and back to that diagonal movement. See if you can follow your hand with your gaze. You feel it around the armpits as well, a little bit here. One more. Well done. Oh, brilliant. So we're going to come up to stand, so bring your strap with you. And we're going to do that same movement, but we're going to add another movement. So I'll just, excuse me while I turn my back to you. So whatever grip you need, you'll take your arms forwards and up. And then what we do, we'll keep tension on the strap as we pull the elbows into each other. So you're keeping tension on the strap as you do that. Then we'll take the arms back up and then forwards and down. So just a little tweak to that movement. We're going to keep the knees soft and aim to keep the tailbone long, a little bit of engagement here, so that there's a temptation to arch, just to get your arms behind you. We want to keep the back completely uninvolved here, so trying to isolate the movement purely into this area. Okay, let's have a go. So nice soft feet. Remember to adjust your strap if you need to, mind the buckle. So let's take the arms forward and up. You've got that stronger grip now, so you're creating real tension in the strap. Keep the tension in the strap as you pull your elbows together. Try and get your strap to brush your shoulder blades. And then let it brush your shoulder blades again, maybe even the back of the head as you come back up. Forwards and down. Relax your legs. Okay, let's go again. So soften the knees, tension in the strap, take it forwards, up, start to bend. So try and get that band to brush the back of your head, the back of the shoulder blades, keep tension on the strap as you draw the shoulder blades together. So this is a kind of Chinese wand or stick movement, traditionally done with bamboo, so it's very unyielding. So that's why we're trying to simulate that by keeping tension in the strap. Relax, just re-straighten the legs. We'll do that one more time. Good, so maybe you can go a little narrower for the last one. Here we go. Good, take the arms forward, soften the knees, tailbone long, navel engaged. So keep that tension as you brush the back of the head, brush the back of the shoulder blades, elbows towards each other, and you return back to your upright position. Arms forwards and down. And relax. Brilliant. So, I'm so close to not saying so, and one sneaks out. We're going to work with the strap in a side bend, then we're going to come forwards and we'll come around to the other side, keeping tension on the strap again, or the band, whatever you're using, so you can always double it over if that length is good enough for you. Okay, so stop. Oh, we take our hands and arms up and overhead. I hope you're counting, you're going to let me know. We're going to lean over to the left, keep tension on the strap. We're going to come through centre and then over to the right. We'll add that little circular movement in a moment. Good. Come up. Remember, the idea is that it feels like you're trying to pull your strap apart the whole time. Good. Well done. Come up to the centre, over to the left. Good. Imagine your left hand was fixed to the floor. Bring your right arm down, then come forwards. Right hand fixed to the floor, left arm up, back to your upright position. Good. Over to the left, right arm down, forwards, around to the right, and back up. Keep that tension on that strap the whole time. And come back to the centre 3 times in the opposite direction. Over to the right. Good. Imagine that your right hand is now glued. Keep this tension on the strap as you bring your left arm forwards and down. Through that front position, around to the other side. Left hand now glued as the right arm lifts up as you return to the centre. Good. Last one, here we go. And arms forwards and down. Ooh, see how that feels. Release your strap onto the floor. And that's how we'll roll the shoulders up, back and down. We'll just have a couple of rounds of Surya Namaskar A, Sansulu A, before we come down for our final shoulder release. And then we'll finish in Shavasana. Excellent. So, front of the mat, feet about hip width. Notice perhaps a freedom of movement in the shoulders, just through those little movements that we've already done. And see if you can have the idea of the arms floating out and up. And let them float out and down as you bend the knees, maybe bring your hands to the shins or to the floor. Come up halfway, inhale. When you're ready, plant your hands and step back to downward dog. Just feel and notice in downward dog with regards to your shoulders and observe maybe it feels like a slightly different pose now. Perhaps your shoulders are more accommodating if that was an area that you find challenging in down dog. Coming forwards to plank, knees down. And let's wave to the floor. Good. Cobra. Bringing the shoulders up to the ears as we inhale and lift. Stay up as you exhale, shoulders roll back and down. Breathing while you're up. Exhale to the floor. Then return to your hands and knees, tuck your toes, downward dog. Good. So nothing to do in downward dog other than feel that it's the right position for you. So just using any little tweaks that you might need to make to feel that the pose is fitting your body. Then again, come forwards, plank, knees down, and we'll roll to the floor. This time we're going to stay on our bellies. Just rest your forehead on your hands. So I'm going to talk you into the next one. You can always have a look first if you're not sure. So when we've done it, you can rewind me. I won't feel a thing, I can promise you that. And so you can have a good look at what we're going to do. So we're going to lie on the floor as we are now and let the right arm come out in line with the right shoulder. It's my right arm anyway, so if you're not sure, you can always have a look and then, as I say, rewind and then do the pose with me. Now your left hand is on the floor, so your left hand is on the floor here. So you're supporting yourself in this way with your left hand. Now you're going to imagine, you're going to try your best to roll a little bit onto your right side as if you were curling up in bed. So it's that kind of feel. So feel free to keep your legs bent. That's a pretty good one to do. You can just rest here. Another sort of place could be, you could straighten your legs out. You could bend your top leg and put your foot on the floor. You can step that foot. In my case, it's my left foot stepping behind my right leg. Finally, if it feels right, you can sweep the left arm behind you so the hands come together. That's much stronger, so do be careful. You can always prop your head up, by the way. So you can have your head on a cushion, on a blanket, on a brick. Alright, and then to come out, we just roll back onto our tummies and we take care, particularly with the arm that's been out to the side, bringing it back in. Good, so you probably watched that, so that's good. So let's go together. So we'll do the same side again. So I'll flip around this time. So right arm out to the side. Good. Left hand on the floor, so you've got a bit of support in that hand as if you're trying to push yourself up with your left hand. Turning your head to the left. Then you're going to roll onto your right side and then just bend your both knees a little bit. It's like you're sort of getting comfy in bed, except your arms out at a peculiar angle. Okay, you can stay here. Absolutely no reason why you shouldn't if you're finding it quite a strong place to be. You can think about straightening your legs. You can think about bending your top leg and popping your foot on the floor. And there's no graceful way to do that, so you may find your knees sort of swinging in a bit. You may find you can step that top foot behind the underneath leg. And then you may find that your supporting hand can sweep behind you also, and then you're interlinking your hands behind your back. Take a few breaths, noticing what you notice, feel what you feel. And as you come out, if you've got hold of that back hand, excuse my back by the way, let that arm float up and over and support yourself again with that hand. So as you roll back, you're easing the work through that shoulder of the arm that's out to the side. Take your time to come back, maybe onto your forearms. And then we'll do the other side. So left arm out this time. Right hand supports you. Good. So you're going to scooch onto your left side and bend your knees. So that is usually, for most people, an okay place. I'd like you to have your palm facing down on the outstretched arm, by the way, so I forgot to mention that. So just have your palm down. So maybe hang out here. Maybe stretch your legs out. Maybe bend the top leg and pop the foot on the floor in front of you-ish. Maybe step that foot behind the straight underneath leg. Maybe sweep the supporting hand behind you. Now what you're doing is you're reaching for the hand behind you with this arm, rather than altering the angle of the back arm to grab your hand. So if you find your hands aren't reaching each other, it's okay. We want to keep that release on the front of that underneath shoulder, really. Well done. So your supporting hand is important, so bring it back, spread your fingers, and feel as if you're trying to push yourself up with that hand. And roll gently onto your tummy. Take your time to release that straight arm. Come back to your forearms. Take a breath or two here. And slowly make your way back to child's pose and drape your arms. Have a few breaths as you are. I always like to sit up here so I'm not talking into my knees or into the floor. So I'm always with you, but just stay in child's pose so you can enjoy the breath and the softness through the shoulders. Good. Coming back onto your mats, on your backs, legs bent, feet flat on the floor. Make your way down. Arms by your side. We're just going to lift and lower the arms, see what they feel like. Breathe in, both arms float up. Try not to force them to the floor, just let them go to where they naturally go. And exhale, bring them back down. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. There's always a temptation to just let the hands drop to try and find the floor. So if you try and keep your hands in line with your arms, so your wrists and shoulders are in line, just take your arms again to where they'll go to. You'll find that point where it's kind of a point that if you want to go any further, you have to be a bit pushy. And then return your arms down by your side. So I'm going to do a variation of bridge to perhaps help ease and open through those shoulder joints a little bit more. Okay. Here we go. Let's come up into bridge as we breathe in. Both arms up. Good. Now as you exhale, stay up. So exhale, stay up. On empty, roll all the way back down, keeping your arms up. When everything's down, still on empty, bring your arms down by your side. Then breathe in, which will feel really good. Then breathe out. Let's do that again. Come up as you inhale, hips, spine and arms. Stay up as you exhale completely, so emptying your body completely. On empty, hips and spine down. When they're down, your arms come down. Then you breathe in. Breathe out. Let's try that arm movement only again. So inhale, let your arms float up. And just take your breath where it needs to be taken now. So maybe exhale and begin to inhale. And just see if the arms go a little further without being asked to do so, really. And then exhale your arms down by your side. Pop your knees onto your chest, a little rock from side to side. Side to side. Well done. Coming back to the center as you pop your feet down one at a time. We're going to tent the knees so knees come together, feet apart. By just resting one hand on the belly, one hand at the heart center. Take as much time as you need here to finish your practice. Breathing, softening. Feel what you feel. Notice what you notice. And when it feels right for you, feel free to pause the video and just stay for a little longer. But when you're happy to do so, roll to one side. Press your way back up to a comfortable seated position. And let's just finish with those shoulder rolls again. Notice perhaps a freedom of movement that wasn't there before. Shoulders forwards, up, back and down. And again. Maybe the movement feels bigger, more spacious. Just reverse the movement back up, forwards and down. And one more thing to do before we finish. Make what you call a yoga fist. Thumb on the inside, touching the base of the little finger. Four fingers curled around the thumb. So you're pressing this part of your hand, so from the last knuckle to the middle knuckle, into the floor. Right, so we're not on the knuckles like this. We're flat here. Pressing the floor away. We're just going to twist the shoulders from side to side. Keeping your head forward facing. Twist, 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 twist. Good. Keep pressing into the floor. Well done. Come back to the center. Relax. Sweep your arms out a lot. Breathe in. Palms together overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart center. I hope you enjoyed finding space in your shoulders today and more freedom of movement. So until the next time, namaste.